10 best Topps Chrome cards of all time. So,
all right. Ooh. All right. Jeff and I are very excited. Topps Chrome is obviously a really cool set. So, to narrow it down to 10, to the 10 best, what we decided to do is try to not get into parallels at all if possible. So it's not going to be like this is one of the 10 best because it's a red refractor, or here's one of the 10 best because it's an atomic refractor. We're trying to do just the 10 best cards for what they are. Base card, whatever. Jeff, are you ready?
let's go.
All right.
What's number 10?
All right, we're going to get into this. At number 10 on our list, we have what is currently, as of right now today, the most valuable card. The most valuable Topps Chrome card I think ever produced in terms of actual value. And that is the Anthony Vulpi MLB debut patch auto, which if you pulled today, Jeff, you could sell for exactly how much money?
$150,000 is the bounty on that card, right?
Whew. Yeah, it sure is.
It's a great card. It's not a Chrome card, but you pull it out of the Topps Chrome pack, Topps Chrome Update pack. So It's got to be on the list. And at that value, we can't not talk about it.
You have to talk about it. I'm not a big Yankee fan. I'm not a big Volpe fan, but I'm a big fan of that card if I happen to pull it. Okay. All right. So slightly less expensive is our number 9. This is the 2019 Topps Chrome image variation for Shohei Otani. This card is great. He's paired with Ichiro, and his Topps All-Star Rookie Gold Cup is right there on the card, too.
It's a great card. You've got two of the best Japanese Major League Baseball players of all time. Kind of Ichiro sort of handing off the crown to Otani, as it were. They're both laughing. It's a lighthearted moment. It's a really great card.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's fairly limited, especially in terms of the world of Topps. So if you don't have that one and you love those two guys, you got to go find yourself one. All right. At number 8, this one's a little bit weird, but in 2010, you could take if you bought a hobby box of Topps Chrome, you could take all 24 wrappers and send them into Topps Chrome, or send them into Topps, and they would send you a little 3-card pack in return. And there were 15 cards possible in these 3-card packs, and one of them is at number 8 on our countdown, and that is the Buster Posey Topps Chrome Refractor Rookie, only available in this wrapper redemption. Pretty cool card.
It's a very cool card and a rare, interesting way of getting it. Now, when Posey may or may not go into the Hall of Fame, it could be looked at as even more important of a card in his career.
Absolutely, and it's fairly limited for a 2010 card, but not impossible. There's about 280 PSA 10s right now, so we're not talking about a ghost here, but still a really cool card. And if you really want to do a deep dive, there are green parallels, which are numbered to like $4.99, I think, but those do not pop up very often. Okay, we're gonna get a little time machine for number 7. We're going back to the debut year of Topps Chrome, 1996. There's some great images in this set, and I know we weren't going to talk about parallels, but we are going to have to use parallels here. In 1996, the refractors were 2 per box, and the hobby, it's crazy to think that more Topps Chrome is printed now than it was in the mid-90s, but that's for sure the case. You don't see a lot of these refractors. So for our number 7, we're going to go with the biggest star of 1996, and that is Ken Griffey Jr. So we're going to talk about Ken Griffey Jr.'s Topps Chrome refractor. Beautiful card. I believe he's sliding into third base. And these things are not easy to find, are they, Jeff?
Now, I wasn't a collector in the mid-90s. That was during my sabbatical between the junk era and getting back into the hobby. But I was a baseball fan, and Griffey was the biggest name in baseball. So I'm not surprised that the interest in his cards is still carried over to today. And yeah, you rarely see this card, and especially for Griffey collectors or Chrome collectors, it's a must-have.
Absolutely. There are only 11 PSA 10s because, as we've seen with many, many Topps issues, there are some centering difficulties. We'll call it back then. Also, the surfaces are dicey. There's less than 100 total at PSA. This is a really, really tough card. I know there's harder to find Griffey cards in the 90s, but Topps Chrome was such a major set, and 1996 being the inaugural set. And this is a must-have for any Griffey collector, for sure. Okay, all right, quick stretch. Here we go.
Yeah.
Number 6. Number 6 is it's got to be one of the actual, kind of cool cards that Topps has done. 2001, Topps Chrome Update. They gave us a dual rookie card of Albert Pujols and Ichiro Suzuki. Now that's just a fantastic pairing. These guys went on to have some fairly decent career numbers, right, Jeff?
That's right. I mean, you've got two all-time greats there. And obviously, Ichiro was a little bit older at the time because he had spent several years already dominating the circuit in Japan before he came over to the U.S. But he immediately made his mark, as did Pujols. They dominated their respective leagues for the next decade plus, and eventually they'll both be in Cooperstown. So it's an amazing card to have them both on the same card as rookies.
Yes, yeah, that was an absolute home run by Topps right there. They took a swing, and that worked out really well. There's a lot of years when the two rookies of the year would not have looked great, a decade later. But this one looks awesome. All right, It's top 5 time.
Let's do it.
Okay, at number 5, we have another fairly kind of unusual card. Clayton Kershaw is probably the best pitcher that a lot of people watching this video have seen. He's amazing. Let's not get into his postseason issues, but his career has been spectacular. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. His Topps Chrome rookie is kind of weird. He's in that 2008 update set, and if you bought a hobby box of that, on top of the box, inside of course, there's a pack of 1 Chrome card. And mixed into very few of those packs, Jeff, is our number 5, Clayton Kershaw's 2008 Topps Update Chrome rookie card. Real hard to find this one.
Yeah, so now for that entire season, for that product, was that the only way to get the Chrome cards? Is it in that 1 pack on top of the box?
This was just for the update. This is the
update.
That's the way, for the Chrome updates. It wasn't a very big set, but it was big enough that this Kershaw is only, there are 79 total at PSA with just 25 gems.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool card. You don't see it a lot. We just kind of scanned eBay a little bit. There's a bunch of PSA 9s, but the price tags are justifiably very high.
Yeah, and I can't imagine what a PSA 10 would get. Even now, with, as you mentioned, Kershaw's recent struggles, that's still a top card of what's going to be one of the top pitchers of all time.
Absolutely. All right, speaking of players' Topps card, speaking of a player's Topps card, wow. Whew, good thing I'm not drinking yet. Okay, at number 4, we have a card with what I would say is some historical significance. Back in, there was a terrible, terrible bombing that happened at the Boston Marathon. And at the first home game following that marathon, David Ortiz gave a speech to the crowd at Fenway Park. We've all seen it. It's pretty fantastic. There are photos, and thankfully Topps was able to put a photo of Ortiz speaking in front of this giant American flag. That's our number 4 card. 2013 Topps Chrome David Ortiz. This is a super, super, super short print. There are currently 0 at PSA, but this kind of card gives me chills.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about how much we appreciate when you can identify an exact moment or a game that a card is from. It just adds something to the story, and especially in a situation like this where it was a moment, a game that transcended sports. It was a huge moment for the entire country, and to capture that and put that on a card is a huge win for Topps. It's a great card. I'm glad that they haven't reused that too often, because it's nice that they keep it as a special card. I wish it would have been the only set that it was in. However, it has popped up in a couple other places, but not on a Topps Chrome card.
Yeah, this is just one of those cards. When you look at it, you can kind of feel the energy in Fenway. You can hear Ortiz's words, and it just takes you back to what was a pretty scary and emotional time. There is a paper version of this in Topps. It's certainly more common and less expensive. If you just need the image, that's absolutely the way to go. But like I said, there's 0 Topps Chromes at PSA currently. Just an amazing card, and for sure, David Ortiz's best card. I think without a doubt. All right, we're down to top 3. Okay, so at number 3, we have one of what probably is one of the more valuable Topps Chrome cards out there. We're talking about, of course, Albert Pujols' 2001 Topps Chrome Late Edition Retrofractor. I know we said no parallels, Jeff, but we had to use this one.
Yeah, and why is it called Late Edition?
Because it was a late addition to the set. It's one of those rare times where Topps chose its words wisely.
And so, yes, that means there's not that many of them.
Nope.
What's the PSA pop on this?
There are 30 total at PSA. 30, and only 2 PSA 10s. I've never seen one of the PSA 10s. I think they're buried in PCs probably forever. But you can make a strong argument outside of the Bowman Chrome Auto. This is Pujols' best card.
Yes, and along with the caveat that we gave with the MLB debut patches, this is also not a chromium stock card necessarily. It's kind of a paper card, but it has a refracting sort of rainbow hollow foil coating on it. So, but that was the way to get it in the Topps Chrome packs. So
that's
fits the list.
Yeah, if you see pictures of it, you're looking for the gold one. It's going to look gold to the naked eye. There's a paper Topps Gold card. So you're looking for the Topps Chrome. It'll say Topps Chrome. It'll say late edition. This is a really, really cool card. Pujols was an incredible player, and I feel like obviously his last 5 or 6 years weren't good. But when you go back and look at his baseball reference page, it will blow your mind just how incredible this guy was.
I think so. And as we've seen recently, players that tend to have a little rough end of their careers, they get appreciated more 5 years after when their name comes up with Cooperstown, and you can kind of look back at all the good stuff they did rather than how they ended things.
Exactly. All right, top two. Okay, when we think of like the last 15 years of baseball, Mike Trout was obviously the best player over that time period. So for number 2, we're going to go with the best Topps Chrome card of the best player of the last 12 years. So we talked about it. We decided at number 2. So we're going with the 2013 Topps Chrome Mike Trout image variation SP, SSP, SSS, SP, SSMFP, as I like to call it. But this thing is super rare, and it's got a great image on it, Jeff.
Yes, he's getting handed his Rookie of the Year award, and it's a beautiful card, and it's extremely hard to find.
Yeah, but yeah, so there's a picture of Trout. He's got holding the award, Mike Scioscia on one side, and I think the Angels GM, whose name escapes me, who is almost certainly partially responsible for a decade of incompetence in their front office. Doesn't matter. The card is really cool. It's incredibly rare. There are 4 of these cards at PSA, 2 9s, 2 10s.
Of course, maybe that's the GM who was responsible for getting Trout and then was subsequently shown the door, and maybe they've had bad sense. Maybe it's the curse of that GM.
That's a good point. I might be selling him short. That probably is the GM that drafted Mike Trout. So let's go with that. That's a better story that makes the card seem a little bit more exciting. So let's go with that.
But like you said, they're very rare. It's hard to find. And if you can find one,
don't hesitate too long. This is a really cool image too. Topps did not use this image anywhere else, as far as I know. So this is a great card, a great card of a great player.
Yeah,
and so is number 1. Card number 1 is kind of a perfect combination of the first time Topps Chrome started using image variations. They're crazy rare. Maybe print runs are under 50. And they happened to hit a home run here. They decided to do some rookie cards. So at number 1, we have the 2012 Topps Chrome Bryce Harper image variation SSP. He is sliding. This card is a badass baseball card, Jeff.
It checks all the proverbial boxes. It's a great image. It's a rookie card of one of the best players, modern players. And it's extremely rare and hard to find. So it's a collector's dream, this particular card.
Absolutely. Currently, there are 8 at PSA. They've all graded a 9. We've seen about half of them, and they're all just off-centered enough that they're not going to gem.
Yeah.
But when the Phillies made the World Series in 2022, I think 3 of these cards came up for sale, and it was really exciting to see what happened. The prices went obviously bananas. But here in 2023. When the Phillies lost in the NLCS, we only saw 1 come up for sale. So I don't know.
It makes you wonder. This is one of those rare cards, and you mentioned it with another card before. Maybe it was the Pujols, that these tend to get buried deep in personal collections. And no matter what the price does, I don't think we're going to see a lot of them come out. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if the Phillies make another run, if Harper makes another MVP run, maybe some of them will surface. But in the meantime, if you can happen to find one at a show, maybe snap it up.
But yeah, you see one of these, and sometimes it's cool just to see the card, take a picture with it. You don't see these beauties very often.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
Well, there is our 10. We know there's many, many other cards that could be on the list. So please comment below what you think we missed. If you agree with any of our choices, if there's some we overlooked, yes, please mention it. And anything else to add, Chris?
I think that'll do it. Yeah, that's our list. Let us know if you agree, disagree. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll catch you next time.